People in chat, can you hear us?
Hello, chat.
Heyo, chat.
Hello.
Let me see. Okay, I see YouTube. If I minimize
I can
Discord, it gets rid of the other chat. Oh, if you want to check. Hello, everyone. Okay, it's a little quiet. Not needed to adjust for the stream. Cool. That works. Yeah, so this is a Q&A live stream. We have a couple questions prepared here, but of course, if anyone in chat has any questions, we'd be happy to answer it. I'm Ava or Nick. I'm the creative director, and then if everyone else wants to introduce themselves.
I'll go first, I guess. I like to go by Kami. I am the art director and I just sprite artist, among other things. Visual things, you know.
I am the Lost Arts. I am the animation director, at least for the 2D animation that we have, as well as specifically for the trailer. Although I will be helping out with other animation going forward too, where I can. But other than that, I am a game designer and creature designer as well.
Is Jen still with us?
Yes, I still am. They haven't cut off my power yet. Hi, I'm Jen. I may accidentally drop off in the middle of the call, so sorry if that happens. I'm the sound designer for the project, so I'm handling the non-musical elements such as like creature noises, ambiance, footsteps, UI, abilities, all that fun stuff. Party.
Sweet. Yeah, actually, if one of you guys want to send a ping on the Discord server, that'd probably be helpful as well. Just so people know who weren't subscribed or didn't, like, write it down in their calendar. Oh, actually, and while we're doing that, if you can see on the stream, the last thing I've been working on is this little ambient sand particles being blown on by the wind. We're simulating all the wind in this area, and it's like physically accurate. You can see it whipping sand over the dunes here. Just a pretty little thing to make the space feel a little more lively. Also this week, we are working on all the audio. Ooh, what are some mechanics aside from the creature collecting we're excited about including in the game? I talk a lot, so I'll turn that to everyone else to answer, and then maybe I'll say something if it hasn't been covered. Let's start with Kami.
Yeah.
Oh,
or
hi.
Lost.
No, it's okay.
So like mechanics we're looking forward to. I just like the idea of the open world, and just finding like little guys all over the place, and kind of getting to know them is probably the most exciting thing to me about the whole thing.
Am I able to tease at least a little bit of the thing
go
I've been
for it.
working on? Okay. So the thing I'm particularly excited on is the sort of pet project I've been working on, which you may have seen on the Kickstarter as the Play Your Own Way system. And that is something that is near and dear to me, which is having players able to engage with the game world in a way that suits their particular play style. For example, my sister would be very intimidated by a bunch of scary Elemera coming at them. So there can be a more necessarily passive, but more of a friendly sort of playstyle where you're more geared towards I want to get along with all the different Elemera. So there's a system of various almost like classes of playstyle. So we have like 4 major archetypes and like 2 sub archetypes under those as like sort of advanced classes that I've been kind of working on. One of them being like focused on people really love movement in games like this. Like as you can see, Ava here is doing a bunch of jumps and stuff. There would be various systems relating to boosting that based on the Elemera you are partnered with. So, for example, there would be a reason for an all aquatic team because perhaps it might boost your ability for like a swim speed as well as a cool movement option or a cool like healing option or something relating to a particular playstyle that you enjoy or crafting option. And that is the sort of play your way mechanic system suite I've been working on in the background for the past year or so, thinking about all the mechanical details of it.
Jen,
Yeah,
if you're still there, sorry.
yeah. Yeah, something I really like about games in general is games where your decisions have an impact on the game where it goes. So kind of going off last thing is where like you can have things where the mechanics you are using are based on your decisions. Also, as far as the world in general goes, you can kind of get to determine how your character is in relation to all the other creatures around it with your choices and everything. And I just like it when you, the player, feel like you're having an impact on the world around you, which is what I like about this game a lot.
Cool. I think I've talked enough on the other things about my favorite things. Ooh, can we expect, got another one from Andrew here. What kind of unique things can we expect in the open world? How much of the game would occur in the open part of the world? Will there be dungeons, cities, or other more static locations? So I can speak a little bit to this. So the environment you're seeing right here is just a dev testing area. There is nothing but the player and the base topology here. The most obvious thing that you'll see is the structures built by the Elemera. So Elemera are given their own agency. If you think like The Sims, they have their own relationships, they have their own needs. They'll typically form colonies unless they're a completely solitary species. And that involves often building structures if they're not nomadic, or even if they are nomadic temp structures. You'll see those scattered throughout the environment. You will also see areas of interest. You might see ruins of the past. You'll probably see, again, plenty more geological structures. So we consider these large crystal structures geological. Most biomes will have a couple of significant ones and a lot of smaller ones. You'll see a lot of flora that's interactive. Again, whenever we're designing a biome, we think about building an entire ecosystem. So if you can imagine what it takes to have an ecosystem, even one as hostile as a desert, like in this one, that's kind of what you might imagine. This is a game that you're supposed to get lost in. The interactivity is the many systems, the many things that are going on. You can work with Elemera. You might find one that's lost, and you might have to help them get home if you so choose. Somebody might have lost something. None of these are just like traditional RPG quests or anything. It's just whatever people are up to and the game world reacting to whatever state they find themselves in. We have some other ideas more along the lines of those dungeons and things, but we'll leave that for later discussion once we've gotten through all the core gameplay stuff in our dev commentary. Oh, good point. I should mute my Discord. Sounds.
If I may,
Go for it.
Seaside Hermit, your question, I love that. We have a lot of cutie patooties planned. There's a couple that are already like in the trailer. Some are in development, some are being refined a little bit. There is no shortage of cutie patooties, but there will also be like scary Larrys.
Yeah, we've had to rein back a couple of times because so many of our artists like drawing cutie patooties.
It's
And
kind of hard not to make everything cutie patootie.
so making a balance is important.
I do enjoy the scary Larrys as well.
I mean, Kami is our premier Scary Larry curator.
I like creating interesting ones myself, personally.
I'm a
Ones
goofball
that are a
kind of
little
guy.
weird or a little pathetic.
It is well known on the team that I am a big fan of derpasauruses in whatever form they may take. Everything should be cute until it becomes terrifying. See Joltik and Galvantula.
Yeah.
My
It
favorite
can't.
Pokemon.
I agree, but we can't commit to it 100%. Otherwise, you'll know what to expect. This is a game about mysteries, after all.
I do like designing for the scary Larrys personally.
Let's see. I got a question here. So this goes to our animation lead. There have been a couple of people bring up why we decided to go with the animated segment of our trailer. Obviously, the trailer's a mix of gameplay and animation. Um, I don't know what you'd like to speak on that topic.
So main reason for that is that my particular area where I'm working as far as the actual what's going in the game mainly regards with like creature designs or mechanical ideas for something way down the road. All of the sort of bedrock stuff was created way before I joined the team. So everything going into the demo and playable stuff for the trailer was pretty much outside of my hands. So I'd otherwise just be kind of sitting idle. So we came up with an idea for, since I am an animator, to have a 2D animated segment part of it. So we could show a little bit of the charm and personality of the game itself, in addition to some of the more mechanical stuff that you'd see in the gameplay. So it was the main reason. And I don't know, it would be nice if we had more on the gameplay side as well. But we were just getting the engine done, from what I know, finishing it. Ava,
Yeah.
to get all the scenes there. So the main thing is we wanted something cool that people would like to really see the vision of like being immersed in the world itself. So seeing like, oh, you're going alongside your friends as a partner of both the protagonist Elemera and the Elemera you find in the world, as a sort of tag team together. So that was the main reason. We had an animator idling otherwise. We might as well do something fun and flashy. So that was the reason for it.
That actually ties into a question from Seaside Hermit here. Um, the biggest challenge that we've had as a team is just the fact that building the engine took so long that there was a lot of time where artists were making assets and I didn't have the ability to just show how pretty they look, which is hard for morale, admittedly, and to like convince them that this was still happening. So I think from a production standpoint, that's probably the hardest thing. I don't know on an individual task point of view what's been the hardest pieces for each of you guys.
Well, for me, in particular, like I guess just general sprite work. It was a pretty heavy crunch to get what we had to do get like done. It it was very worth it. Just like it was a lot of work all at once. I think with part of that is just like I've always been a you know, draw artist. Sprite work is still kind of like wishy-washy for me sometimes, and I get like frustrated with perspective. So working with sprites in perspective is probably one of the really big like challenges that I face with, especially using 8 directional movement.
Yeah, let's just take a second to admire how pretty this is and how 3D this character looks as I spin them around. That's all Kami. Okay.
What about on the sound design front? Any challenges that you've had to overcome?
In general, I have to say a lot of what I've been doing is been very conceptual, and now that we kind of have the engine up and I can see the movement, I can see the things we're specifically designing to as far as like timings and what the events are, it's going to be a lot easier. But it's a lot of been like preparing to get the final designs done and being like, it's probably going to look like this, it might look like this, but not being able to do anything too concrete yet. But now that we're working on the implementation and stuff like that, which is also going to kind of be a bit of a challenge as well, that I'm super excited for because I do like technical audio a lot. I think we're going to be able to get a lot more polished stuff in there soon.
I will say to that point, the main task for this week on the gameplay front has been adding audio, our full music and audio system, so that we can show off Gen stuff. So it's not a silent stream just playing our music.
We have
and
a lot of Foley ideas for this, and I'm excited.
Yeah, and it'll also be pretty technically ambitious because we're doing ray traced audio. So if thunder happens outside and you're in a space that has an open window, it'll sound like the sounds coming out of that window. We're also using Steam's audio system where it models like how sound hits each of your headphones separately. And like compensates for the shape of the head. And anyways, it'll sound very immersive, which is something that we can do because this is all, again, a custom engine. We can just get in there and add some really gnarly stuff pretty easily at this point in production. So I'm looking forward to see just how cool Gen stuff sounds.
Speaking of sound, I noticed that on this scene, the music is disabled. We might want to put that back on.
Oh, is it not playing?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Oopsies.
Is it not playing or did it just stop playing? Oh, okay. Let's
always
go
something.
into OBS. Music properties. Virtual input. Okay, that's where it's supposed to be going.
Dramatically pauses music.
Everyone's like, I thought that was intentional. Sorry to ruin the illusion.
That was not intentional. Is it coming through now?
I do not hear it now.
On the bright side, I find the character's movement very satisfying to watch.
Okay, yeah, there should have been music playing the entire time, so that's cool.
I think so far, like, graphically, we've got a very interesting game going. Like, just even what we've got right now, it looks so nice.
Yeah. Will I work on that? I've got another question, which is... Yeah, any interesting limitations or possibilities in your, like, for this project in your specific area of expertise that you'd like to talk about? We can start with Jen this time.
You said limitations?
Yeah, or like, or the opposite, I guess, possibilities, like stuff that restrictions or like capabilities you haven't been able to do before.
I guess the biggest thing I think about with that is thinking about doing the creature design for each different Elemera, because there's a lot of considerations to take when you're doing, because we want to have the Elemera expressing a bunch of different emotions, everything. A lot goes into considering what their base voice is going to be, because you're going to be hearing that in different variations quite a bit. And since we have such a variety of Elemera, it's a lot of like exploring, okay, as far as limitations go, how is this Elemera limited mechanically as far as audio goes, or how is it opened up mechanically as far as audio goes? Is this more organic? Is it more mechanical? Is it like an ethereal being? So I don't know if I would say it's a limitation, but I'd say it's as more of just, there's a lot to consider for each one, and I'm very excited about that because I do love creature design. But yeah, this with the variety of Elemeras, it's going to be a variety of voices, and that's going to take a lot to consider.
Can someone give me a sound check? Is music coming through now?
I hear music now, yeah.
Yay, okay, sweet. Good. Sick. Yeah, no, we want to showcase Say's music whenever possible because it's also been a big motivator on the team.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
love
A
Say's
number of
That's-
people recruited based on Say's music.
Specifically me. Yeah.
I remember one of the first times that I met you, I think we got in your car and we listened to her music, or his
Yeah.
music, sorry, to Say's music that time we went out for like breakfast or something.
I think, I think I got one of her samples that we needed to give feedback on.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my god, you're here. Let's listen to some Elemera stuff.
Yeah, it's just really cool because even then, like, you know, and that was like what, a year or two ago now. Like,
Mhm.
hearing it in person, like it's a tangible thing, is so exciting, as opposed to just hearing it like, you know, oh, I clicked play on the Discord.
Yeah. And actually, we had Say on contract at the very beginning of this, and I was just paying per song. And then Say's ambitions for the soundtrack got larger and larger to the point where I would have been paying more than my paycheck to Say to make tracks. So Say joined as a full member of the team at that point.
Oh my god.
One of the more fun things that we do. How big is Elemera's region or environment? So the map, like Minecraft, is going to be, if you've played Minecraft on consoles where there's like a limit to how much storage you have, the map's going to be somewhere between 16 kilometers and 65 kilometers across, and then about 1,000 or like a kilometer tall. Later, we'll probably expand that to like 4 or 8 kilometers tall. In miles, it's something. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's like 2/3 of that. I don't know the conversion. I usually don't use kilometers. It's just all of our blocks are 1 meter. So that and powers of 2 make it really easy to keep track of. It's going to be large, and each biome is going to be a lot more sprawling than what you would see in Minecraft. This is a finite world. It loops horizontally, but not across the poles. And the reason that we do it that way is when you have an infinite world, you generate everything like on the spot, and that limits some of the things you can do with world generation. And something like Minecraft can't do rivers that go downhill, because whenever they start generating rivers, they don't know yet if the chunk next to it is going to be higher or lower, or if it's eventually going to reach a mountain. We can just start rivers at the top of mountains and then carve out lakes and streams and tributaries and everything. So it just gives us a lot more flexibility, and it also gives us a good estimate for the player being like, hey, the game's going to take up this much space for whoever's hosting it, which is not always true of Minecraft. It's not always clear how much data this is going to take up. And I
I'm
reference
excited.
Minecraft because it's
Okay.
kind of similar in how the way that it stores data. Sorry, Lost.
I was just gonna say I'm excited for any Austin to dissect the water
The phone
tributary
lines?
system. Yeah. with all the does it accurately go downhill? Will it
should.
form a delta as it approaches the ocean? Like, these are all the things I can't wait for any Austin to be like, yes.
We have to study his video so that we can like mark everything that he has like ever criticized any other open world game for, so that we can be like, we made the perfect game for him.
Specifically, yeah.
There is another YouTuber, Nice, Gniss, who criticizes Minecraft for their geology, so we'll also have to get that right.
There was also a question that we missed earlier that
Yeah.
H. Drew wanted to see, which was, what kind of stories can we expect to experience? How will stories interact with the multiplayer experience?
Yeah, so there are... Okay, I'm trying to think of what I can say here. There... On an individual player front, you don't have to interface very significantly with the parts of the game that are similar across all players. you're going to start somewhere. You're going to be given the task of like exploring the world and like collecting information. What you do with that, as it has to do with other members of your species, there are objectives. There are a handful of events that like are more likely. We like adjust slightly so that they're more likely to happen to a player, just to kind of tutorialize without tutorializing. But the main stories you're going to get are just the complex web of social systems we build for all the other Elemera. It's more a game like Dwarf Fortress of like making stories, if that makes sense. We put a lot of emphasis into making the creatures feel worth your time investing in them. But the other aspect that's kind of tangential are mysteries. There will be many interactions, many locales, many pieces of lore or history that will challenge you and the community to figure out. There'll be a lot of environmental storytelling. I cannot spoil any of those because it defeats the purpose, but the first thing that we think of when designing this world is making a world worth learning about,
Exploring as well.
and exploring.
It's
Yeah,
like,
it's
I
an
want
exploration game.
to be able to go to a new biome and learn something more about the world through how it's created and stuff, like in the way the world is just oriented and everything, which is also one of the pillars that I have in my head for the player own way system, is supporting people who want to look into and explore the story of the world itself. So that's something I'm looking at working on as well.
On the look for the game, that came down to the team. So when this originally started, it was mostly PokeWild's devs. So we had a lot of devs who were really good at pixel art. And we started building this in 2D isometric or something analogous to that in Godot. But we ran into issues with an exploration game where you tend to want some verticality, and as soon as you have verticality, if the camera can't move, that mountain means there's nothing behind the mountain. If you've ever played a 2D Pokemon game, whenever you're going vertically, it might as well take up horizontal space. You can do some interesting stuff like what they did in Fez, but then you're basically doing what we're doing, but with like some pretty camera work. We ended up going with voxels just because if you look at any of the Square Enix games where they do HD 2D, one of the issues that happens, and they compensate for it well, you really don't notice it, is that when you stretch pixel art textures over smoother terrain, you get a lot of awkward seams where pixels are at weird angles and are cut off, and it starts to look a little jank. So they add a lot of bloom and a lot of blur and a lot of intense lighting so that you don't spend time looking at those little details. But since we want you to be able to get the camera this close up as you're interacting with someone, it's important that we keep clarity the whole time. And technically, the sprite is just a 1 voxel thick, but you'd never really notice that. It's just easier to render that way. But yeah, if we make the pixels the same size as the voxels, everything tends to look a lot better together. And yeah, it really came down to just what the team does best.
Very early on too, we hadn't really like completely decided on like, I think using like voxels only for like the terrain, because I know there was a point where we were making like textures, but then we started running into the issue that you have with like a lot of retro games where it's like, oh, I can pick this texture out and it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So we ended up shifting a little bit in the direction of just like using the voxels with bits and pieces taken out or added instead of that.
Yeah, if you ever look at especially an ocean scene, the camera's pulled way back and they're usually just running textures over it. You'll see repeated tiles that are used in like 99% of games, even if they're in HD PS5 Pro game, we have some really clever tricks. Like, if you look at this, you'll never see a repeated pattern here. Maybe like a small one, but never like an individual block. And that's because we use 3D textures, which I generate now because it was breaking Kami's brain when I'd originally tasked her to do it.
I wasn't very good at it. Let's not,
Look, it's not your fault. It is like completely different.
I'm like, this wasn't my job. I don't know where I'm at right now. I'm scared. I'm lost.
Yep. But basically, we can make
I'm lost. You're...
Oh no.
Yeah, you're Kami. You can make a simplified texture that is 3D. So, like, if you think of a normal pixel art texture and then slap a bunch behind it, and then you do some clever shuffling with that, you get rid of those patterns. Let's see. I can barely hear Kami. Oh, Kami, can you turn up your gain?
We also had another
Oh, I can do
question on
that
YouTube
probably, right?
as well.
Yeah, I can also try to like talk into my mic a little better. I have I've got really bad allergies, so I end up like coughing and like clearing my throat a lot, so I try to keep the mic away.
I'll turn you up on my end. I think that's gonna fix it. What's the question on YouTube?
Oh, it's will there be sandwiches? Can I feed my Elemera?
Will there be sandwiches? I don't know if I can commit to specifically sandwich. Probably. I can only imagine there'll be sandwiches, but I can't say definitively until
It's really funny
we get
saying,
to that
I don't know
discussion.
if I can commit to sandwiches. It's just something about that sentence tickles me.
Right? I can always commit to a sandwich.
Yes, you can definitely feed your Elemera. In fact, that's like one of the first things you'll notice is that like your guy really likes spicy food or really likes, I don't know, sharp rocks. Yeah. They don't like round rocks. You try give them round rocks and it's like broccoli for them.
They're really into sulfur.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, every species has preferences. Every individual has preferences, and like in real life with people and animals, feeding's a really good way to make people like you. Will there be special variants like shinies in Pokemon? So that was a hotly contested thing early on in development. Instead of explicitly having like rarer versions of a specific species that are just like, there's the normal palette and then there's the special palette, we break down a character sprite into the different elements. So if I'm looking at the player sprite, we've got the boots, we got the face, we got the eyes, we've got the cloak. And then we make different palettes for each of those. And then when a character is generated, not the player, you get to customize that. But when any Elemera is generated, it picks one of the palettes for each of those. That way stuff doesn't look completely random and bad, which is what you get if you just hue shift everything or if you just do it completely randomly. But it should make it so that your creature's at least just a little different. And if you really like purple and you find the purple version of them, well, that's just great. If you find the green version you don't like green, you're not stuck with it because they decided to make the shiny puke green for the 13 millionth time. Shout out to Espeon.
I'm a puke
That
green
one's a lime
enjoyer.
green. I like
Espeon is
Espeon.
good.
Oh, who's the puke green? There's a bunch of them. Is Kangaskhan
Dragonite?
puke green? Yeah, Dragonite.
No, it's like a
Anyway.
paler. Yeah, sorry.
We've also had talks of ways that might be shifted based on certain factors with the Elemera. So there might be some situations
Oh, I'm in the broken
where
part of
that
the map. Ignore that.
might change.
Yeah, ignore that. I can
Another
go to
question
breaking.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was, what will multiplayer experience look like? How will it differ from single player?
I mean, mechanically, the main things are just unique to multiplayer. It's not going to change the core gameplay loop because you can explore with your friends the same way you can explore by yourself. You can interact. There's nothing gating you, making you like the main player. See, I broke it. I don't know what this bug is. I noticed it last time I was streaming this game for like an hour. It's on my to-do list. It doesn't crash the game. I can go over here. Sorry, I got distracted by the game.
Explore the glitches.
Yeah.
Why not?
I will say there is some factors in which in the player own way system, multiplayer will have some impact in that you may have a different archetype than your friend. So the fact that each person's playing a little bit differently might factor in, for example, if you have someone who is, like I said earlier, able to get along better with Elemera, perhaps if you walk into a dangerous area, instead of being attacked on sight, your group might be allowed through this territory. Whereas normally in your own playthrough, maybe you're specializing into battling, so you have more skills spec'd into that for that system. So that's in that aspect. There are going to be some differences to multiplayer because more than one player is going to have a different setup for their character. So you'll be able to feel the impact of your decisions more in that way by comparison to everyone around you.
The other element are some multiplayer specific things that don't really work with no other people playing of your species. The way the game works, if you want to reserve territory, just like so that nobody messes with it, you need to be in good graces with that biome. And if you're teamed up with a bunch of people, you can essentially form a faction in that biome. And then you're given some leniency on what you're allowed to do there compared to other species. I'll make a video on it because it gets a bit deeper there. You can basically make the equivalent of gyms for people to play. There's a lot of fun mechanics there, but it gets pretty deep pretty fast. So I'll kind of leave it there. But like, rest assured, we will consider making things that make multiplayer even more fun, but it's important that the game be also a completely full experience if people are playing offline single player. Will there be a concept of time? Yeah, so actually if I hit P here, time is moving forward right now. It's just really slow because I haven't adjusted it to not be real time. So the sun is moving in real time, which is not how it's going to be in the gameplay. This is not Animal Crossing. But time does pass, and as time passes, things happen. Erosion happens. If I just kept walking through this path here, eventually there would be a path in the sand.
That could be a fun server setting, though, to have real time synced to like a specific clock. Just for those who want it.
If people want it, yeah, I can definitely add any levers people want. I'm very pro play how you want to break the game. It would just be miserable for me.
I will say the music stopped.
Look how broken it
I think
is.
I don't know how you're setting the music up, but
I'm
stopped
starting
after a
it
while.
again. Is it not shuffling?
I
made a
don't think
playlist.
so. I think it's just
Look, it started again. I'm gonna restart the game because it's getting real buggy right now. But the stream will keep going.
sure. Another question from YouTube. Will I be able to emote at my multiplayer companions?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 100%. In fact, we'll make a bunch of them. Because luckily there's only one player character, so we can be a little bit more fun there.
There needs to be like an unlockable joke emote that's like the like a rotoscoped like Gangnam style. Like there's a Binding of Isaac mod that does that. Like it's high frames, very high subpixeling. We just do like you walk in and you both just start like hitting the gritty.
Hell yeah. I mean, that's your call, Kami. You decide how many and which types of emotes make it into the game.
That one's like the hidden one that you had to play 600 hours to get.
Oh, dude. Okay, when we were working on Pokewilds, I was going to add an achievement for catching every Pokemon in every ball just as an FU to completionists, because I myself am a completionist, and it would have been miserable.
That's fair. I get it.
I don't think
Why
we'll do
is
that here,
Okay. Yeah.
but I do think it is funny to have the like Mewtwo and Melee style. You have to play the game continuously for 24 hours.
Mhm.
So the power outage did, in fact, not last 150 minutes.
Whoa,
Right.
I noticed
Good.
you were
Welcome
gone.
back.
Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah,
Did they tell you what the emergency was yet?
No, I don't think they're going to. But power's back. We're
That's
back.
cute.
Welcome back.
Fun time.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you.
Another
how-
question from. Oh, sorry. What?
Oh, I was. Are you reading? I was reading the one from YouTube. Is there one from Twitch?
Yeah. I was reading one from YouTube as well.
There is one from Twitch though too.
Oh, true. There is. There's a Twitch
Calaveso
one.
asked about the previous questions. Are the likes and dislikes for each Elemera set by species, or is it randomized by a table?
It's by species with some. So like, there's a global table where we list all of them, but then each species tends to have a couple that are their core ones and some that are a little less common. Because it'd be kind of boring if everybody had access to every single one of them. Because then there wouldn't really be much identity to each species, but we want enough variety that like your little pig guy who only likes licorice feels special, if that makes sense.
For the core one, I'm just imagining like an episode of Family Feud. Like, we asked 100 fire geckos what their favorite thing was, and that's the core ones that we list.
Ooh, Twigs is not on the board.
Ooh, we gotta have a Steve Harvey Elemera for that one,
Oh my god.
where he looks at the screen in disbelief.
Right, when it is on the board. We got one from Andrew. How will the different types work? How many types do you plan on implementing? So we have 19 types and then type lists, so rounding it out to 20. In terms of their interactions with the environment, if you're familiar with the chemistry system from Zelda, like things can be electrocuted, things can be frozen, things can be burned, we'll have very analogous stuff here. If I had a really hot fire move on this sand here, it would turn to glass. Or, well, probably crystal, because... No, we'll make it glass. Lightning will make it crystal. I'm not committing to anything right now, but... air will blow stuff. Like, if there was an air Elemera and it made a big wind gust, it would move these sand particles. It might even move some of the sand itself. Everything has a series of hooks that if they interact with an element, they will respond in a way that's intuitive. For that reason, we try to be a little bit conservative on just filling the game with a bajillion materials, because that's... then you kind of run into modern Minecraft issues where every material ends up only serving like one purpose, whether that be decoration or mechanisms or whatever. I feel like it's better to have fewer things that are really deep than a million things that just fill up your inventory. There are multi-types, so typically a monotype will be a more powerful user of its type, so they'll get access to the strongest moves of their type. They're also the most affected by their weaknesses. In a abstract sense, they're a glass cannon. They are the prototypical version of their type. If there was a social hierarchy within their type, they would probably tend to be leaders amongst that group, but that's also not something we've talked about, but wouldn't necessarily be universal. Mons tend to be more comfortable around Mons of their own type, or types that are not a threat to them. They tend to prey on types that they're strong against, but again, these are like loose rules that will be broken. How many status conditions can stack? As many as you can fit, but status conditions only last 5 turns, so since it's doubles, I guess 10 status conditions, unless we add moves that have multiple status conditions. I don't really want to get too deep into the battle system because it gets very deep. And the game, I want to make sure, like, starting with the Pokewilds thing, like, this game is not just about the battle system. We've got a lot of team members who love RPG battle systems, turn-based combat, and like competitive Pokemon. So you are heard. We are doing our best to like really scratch that itch. But there's just too much to talk about. It's a lot. Let's see.
There's one on Twitch again. Will there be any robots or mecha? I can, at least from a design standpoint, answer this somewhat. I guess being very vague, I have concepts worked up, and of course other people do too, have concepts of like roboticized creatures made of metal.
Yeah, our digital type is going to cover a lot of that design space, so you will feel represented there.
And trust me, I'm excited for some of the ones I made, even if they don't
so
show
cute.
up.
Some of them are real cute.
Man,
I have some ideas as well. I love creature design so much, especially
Me
if they're
too.
weird like that. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Is there any post-launch content? Yeah, for sure. We're not going to be able to hit all of our dreams by launch. Like, we're not going to rush launch to release something that's not finished. Like, we'll definitely have something that captures the essence of the game, but
Basically managing scope creep so that we can actually release the game, and then
Yeah.
future stuff is like, well, here's stuff we kind of want to do, but like if we try to do everything at once, it will be like 20 years from now.
there are some projects there are some sub-projects within this game that won't necessarily align with milestones, so they'll come out when they're done. But we're not going to push launch for that. We kind of scope around that. Basically, if somebody joins and they're like, I want this big thing in, then it's like, you own that and you're in charge of like making sure that it happens and that everybody knows what the expectations are there. Like, I would like there to be unique attack animations for each mon. That's a lot. That's a ridiculous amount of work. Like, no shade on Pokemon when they said that they can't do that. Pokemon Stadium did it because that was the only thing that they were doing, and it was a much smaller dex. But I'd like to do it. That would probably be something that we can't necessarily commit to being completely finalized by launch, even with the 3-year dev cycle, because we're only so many devs.
The one issue with that as well is it gets exponential when you commit to something. As each individual new Elemera would then balloon in how much. It's the Kirby problem from Smash Bros. Every time you have a new character roster entered into Smash Bros, you're like, well, we have to add it to Kirby. It's like, oh right. So when you then make a new you make a new Smash game, You're like, how many rosters do we have? 50. We have to make 50 things for. Okay, all right.
Right.
But then everything is Kirby. That's a problem. Every single. So you have to be careful with what you commit to on a specific creature to creature basis.
How many Elemera will there be at launch? Somewhere between like 100 and 160. It really depends on how many biomes we're able to get through. Because there's a certain like minimum that a biome or a sub-biome needs to like feel like it has its own identity. We're not going for like a hard and fast specific target, I don't think. we're just trying to make the game feel as rich as possible. So it could be as low as, I don't know, 110. It could be as high as 200. It's nothing that we'll know until we get there. Especially as Lost alluded to, the more stuff we add per species, the more our focus is on fleshing them out and not just adding more. Let's see, anything from Twitch? It all becomes Kerbo. Yes, yes.
A very
Oh, Say
important
was
question
here?
statement.
Aw,
Yeah, Say was here.
nice.
That is the song composer.
Will there be any legendary or mythic Elemera or items that will play major roles in the story? Yes. And we will discuss that later.
Another time. Yeah.
I will say that they're not going to be like box legendaries from Pokemon. They're not going to be like 2. They'll be a little more integrated than that.
Suffering. We can't reveal all of our secrets.
We have to like
we want to make sure that the exploration within the game is fun, because you have to have those mystery, like Ava alluded to earlier. It's like mystery is a part of it, so we can't answer plot related things very much.
We also don't want to just like make a bajillion videos that are hypotheticals. It's better when we have like some good gameplay and assets to showcase it. Because the biggest piece of feedback we got was people want more gameplay. So we're trying to ration stuff out to meet everyone's expectations, or at least what we can meet of them. Let's see. I don't know, what got each of you guys interested in joining the project?
Who wants to go first? I guess I'm talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
The thing that got me, interestingly enough, I was kind of recruited based on my having streamed a lot of games, and I speak on the things that I play in a very sort of analytical sense. I kind of break things down, and I was approached by Ava and be like, "Hey, we're working on a game. Do you want to hear can I bounce some ideas off of you?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." The call lasted for like 5 hours. And like, I'm like, okay. And then they're like, "Hey, if you're interested," and I'm like, I'll look into it. But the big thing that really drew me in was actually Say's music. Specifically, that was the like at first like, "Oh, okay, it's yeah, I like the ideas, I like all that." But then when I got hit by the earworm that is their music, I was like, "Oh, that's some oh, we're in for a good time. I see. We got professionals working on this. Cool." Because the thing with the game and stuff is a lot of it was at that point not something that could be visually represented. There was a lot of work being done besides the like obviously the concept art, etc. But as far as something that is in a complete state, or at least as complete as it could be, music definitely is one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, I'm seeing the vision there.
To whoever asked about time, you can see the shadows are moving here as the sun sets. That is all. Also, shout out to Say, because little known fact, Say is still in college. Say is working on their 3rd degree right now.
What?
They are significantly younger than everyone else on the call here. They have worked on like multiple commercial indie games. They're very humble despite that, and they're just a pretty swell, fun person to work with. Cannot say enough about them. You should go
Very
listen to their YouTube channel, Say Cubis. No, it's Sanity now. SEIINITY.
Also, you can do /shout out on Twitch as well.
Oh,
because
see, I'm learning something new every day.
If I can answer the question, and my answer is kind of like dumb. So it's been a hot minute. Like I think it's been about 4 years that we've like actually been in like talks about this project. I I genuinely like don't really remember very well, other than just like you were the one dev on Wilds that I was like, I don't know who this guy is. Like pretty much never saw you.
Yeah.
And you just kind of messaged me one day like, "Hey, thinking about doing my own thing." And I'm like, I got nothing else going on. I might as well. And it was that I think that's literally just kind of how it happened. Like there wasn't really like an outside source other than the fact that like one, I have always loved Pokemon. It's what inspired me to like halfway get into like drawing stuff, but also like it's what fueled me to make sprites in the first place. So when you kind of like brought it up like Pokemon like, I'm like, okay, yeah, man, sure, I'm here.
Hell yeah. And you've been here for, yeah, like 4 years now. Almost.
Yeah.
Oh, I will say also one more thing. You might be noticing that the character's glowing. That's a bug. Ignore that.
Oh,
No,
that's
they
a cool
just do
bug.
that.
Jen?
Yeah, so I think I joined the project like 2 or 3 years ago. Can't fully remember. But the way I met Ava was kind of funny. We live in the same area, and I was asking about like what are some discords I can join for game dev. I was still in school at the time. And they said, "Oh, reach out to Ava. They know a lot about the discords around this area." And so I reached out, and I think my message got lost in a bunch of stuff because I heard back a year
Oh.
later. And it was like, and I'm sorry, I messaged, I was like, no, it's totally cool. And we talked about game dev stuff. And then later you asked me like, hey, if you had to design for this specific kind of game, what would you do? And I was like, okay, here's the process. And you're like, okay, you want to meet up for coffee and talk about a game? And I was like, yeah, party. We talked for like, also talked for like 3 or 4 hours. Great time.
I do talk a lot. This is the thing. All
Man,
of our
he didn't have to convince me at all. Like he shot me a message. I'm like, yeah, sure. No long talk required.
Yeah, but we've been on many a
Meanwhile,
long
I
call
assembled
about animals.
Yeah, that's true. You'll just be like, "Hey, you want to see this thing?" Yeah, and then we're like, it's 6 a.m. I need to go to bed."
It's
And all
usually
we've
around
done
when
is
the weird birds come out.
yeah, we talked about the
the
birds
ones that
or
climb the
fish.
trees.
Yep. It is not abnormal for me to be like, hey, I want to show off this gameplay thing, and then 3 hours go by and it's Kami and Lost and maybe a couple other people.
Yeah, that's why usually about an hour in, I start being like, so, circling back, was this all the things we needed to talk about? Just to be like, I've learned that this must be done. So a lot of my work logs show almost precisely 1 hour meeting.
I'm very thankful you reached out though, because when we were describing this project, I was like, I've always loved games that were like involved a lot of connecting with creatures around. Like when I played World of Warcraft, I always played a hunter because you got a little animal companion. Also played a lot of Pokemon, and I played a lot of Spore. So like this kind of game was very much. I was immediately just like, yeah, I'm into this. We're doing it. And the 3 hour talk was just like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Been happy to have all you guys on the team. It like could not do 99% of this without all you guys who are awesome at what you do.
Yeah, we try.
Oh my god, do I try?
We've got a question from Andrew here. Will there be character customization? What will that look like? Can I have a hat? You'll definitely be able to get a hat.
Are we committing to a hat?
The actual specific implementation has been in a lot of debate because that comes down to what is possible for our sprite artists to do. Like that hat gotta look okay as your character's schmoving around. So we have to make it like expandable and like not awful.
We got to do hats because I've been drawing them with hats on my stream.
It's true. How many
get the
hats?
license for it,
As many as we
Are
can
we
make.
tower of hats?
Yeah.
As
If we get a
many as
license
we
for it, we
can
can do a
make
Kirby hat.
and not break it.
Here's my question. if you get knocked over by a air type Elemera move, will your hat fall off?
It just
Uh,
goes flying.
Can we have an
server
Indiana Jones
setting.
moment where it gets blown off in the middle of a battle, and as the door closes, your Elemera has to go and pick back up the hat?
That's the end of the tutorial.
Yeah.
That's my question.
I will make that a server setting that the environment can remove your
knock off your hats.
cosmetics.
Hat
Good.
physics.
Good. Hat
Like-
physics toggle.
Yeah.
Oh, I can now see a game mode of like capture the crown. That could be
Aw.
fun.
It's a game mode. It's
Where-
called TF2, and we
Yeah.
have loot
Yeah, that too.
crates, and it's all hat
No,
based.
not the loot crate. All right, back it up, backpedal. We're going. We got the.
Yeah, I mean, like,
There's
Fortnite
more
has
buttons.
shoes.
Mhm.
TF2 has, like, hats. What do we do?
If we do loot crates, can we have a mimic
Shoes.
Elemera?
Shoes
Yeah.
is what we'll have.
Oh,
but
true. You
Fortnite
thought
already
you were
has
wearing a hat,
shoes.
but it was I.
But like our shoes are better.
Get designer shoes.
I mean, realistically, probably the cloak would be the thing that's the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want like a cool, like starry. I forget the name of the D&D cloak. The,
Like I can
cloak
see
of
the
night.
underside of the cloak, especially when we're doing the spinning animation, because that will be where you can see the underside of the cloak. Having like you can have like a starry field, or you can have like a. I could see us doing like fun customizations of here. Customize the inside of your cloak.
Elemera themed
Um,
cloaks would be fun. What
Those
comes
be
to mind
fun. Yeah,
for
sorry.
under cloak is the bird with the multiple like babies under it,
Oh yeah. Creepy.
and then
Are you
having a
saying we're
cloak.
adding babies to our?
It's different.
Just
It's
collect
the pre-evolution.
little babies to shove underneath your cloak.
Well, no,
you never
no.
see
Well,
them. You just know that they're there.
yeah, they're just there. Don't worry about them.
Yeah. It would
Don't
not
think
be our
too
weirdest
hard.
pitch. I wish I showed it off. I'll probably post it on the Discord, but that bird is real creepy, but it's based on a weird looking bird from real life. If you see something weird in our game, it's probably because it's a weird thing from real life.
Yeah.
I'm Googling this. Hang on.
Yeah, there's just a mama bird that keeps all of its children under its wings, and you see their little claws hanging out, and it looks like some kind of horror.
I
Wait,
see it. This is
what is this called?
I don't know, Kami, do you
Bird.
remember?
it's a
Oh, no.
Jacana, Jacana is what I'm seeing.
JACA.
That sounds like a bird.
Yeah. They're really cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see it. Well, that explains the one that we have in the trailer. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And that guy eats colors. They're like the keystone species of the bog, and you'll notice the deeper you get into the bog, the less and less saturated everything is, because that guy sucks up the colors and makes everything bland and gray except for a couple of flowers.
So like mechanically, does it like stick its beak somewhere and suck it like a straw, or like?
I don't know, Kami, how does it do it?
I don't know, man. I didn't make it.
You drew it.
I drew it, but I didn't make it. That's a svelte question.
Oh, that is a
I
spell
mean,
question, yeah.
that definitely seems like it. I don't see any other way for it to do it. And I mean, the beak is a very prominent part of the design. So I think just stabbing into the earth, kind of like Mother 3 style, like
Mhm.
with the picks, it seems like the most logical way to do it.
There's like a
Plus, it
variant
wouldn't be
that
too
has a
hard to
swirly
implement
straw.
from an animation. You can do like a couple frames, have it stick in there, and then
See.
you can do like a drain animation.
If
just
you
on
look at the screen,
saturation.
this is why the player doesn't start with everything unlocked at max
What are you
speed,
doing there?
because it looks very broken.
Are
I'm
you
spamming.
doing like a double jump?
I'm doing double
well?
jump, ground pound, dive continuously, and they're just like shaking a lot. But it's fine.
Okay.
That was a big jump.
As someone who jumps at every opportunity in a game, who jumps more than running, I love this.
Oh yeah, that's why specifically I am working on some things that will add to the the potential for platforming and fun stuff when you partner up with Elemera and stuff. So partnering up with an air Elemera, for example, easiest example is if you'd get an air hop, for example. So if you have a couple of them, you can have like a couple air hops and stuff, which could be fun.
This isn't a glitch though, so the game has momentum. So if you dive, land, jump, dive again, you keep your speed, and you can move very fast. Probably not that fast unless you're like max level, max speed,
Yeah.
but very fast. Bunny hopping, yes, we do have a bunny hopping mechanic. So if you jump right, actually, it's more for verticality. If you jump right as you land, you get a huge boost to jump height. If you'll notice, I'm not like having to jump 99% of the time though. I have a pet peeve with Minecraft and Minecraft likes where you have a bunch of these relatively tall blocks that you have to continuously jump over even if auto jump is there. Yeah, I want it to feel more like Mario. I want the navigation to never be something that you have to
in the way.
think about, yeah, as an obstacle. Well,
you want it to be
like
a fun
frustration.
Like for example, going up and down the dunes here is a lot of fun because you're having the momentum there.
Yeah.
I almost think we should have a when you're crouching and then you do the same button, the activation button that we do for the air dash, having a slide would be good, I think.
Yeah.
As well, where you can have momentum down slopes and stuff.
What do I have for crouch into? Oh, right now crouch into interact actually starts digging.
That's fair. We'll have to figure something out.
Yeah.
But we want to be consistent with the way that the dive works, I think.
Yeah. Dive works from most things, but you do currently have to be so dive when you're not in the air is interact. It's your main
that's
like
what I mean.
A button.
Yeah. So
we've only got 3 buttons and direction, which on controllers your analog stick, so we have some more flexibility. I just want to keep it as small as possible.
You could do it when you're landing in the same way you have like the Zelda roll. If you're currently pushing a direction forward, it enters a roll animation. Then if you do the interact during the roll, you could slide.
We could do that. A roll just seems like a pain to draw. That's why I didn't have it there. Because they're flipping over themselves, so it's unique for each perspective.
Right. It's something it would take. I could even help with animating that because I'm good at rotating 3D objects and animating. Just as a help as a guide if it needs for our spiders.
We'll see.
But it could be another. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Go.
I was gonna say we do have another question in Twitch chat, real quick.
Okay.
From It's Calaveso, do you all have a favorite Elemera that's been revealed so far?
Mine's the catfish. I love the catfish.
I hate this question.
It has to be the ones that's revealed. It can't be any of the ones that you're working on.
We have so many designs.
Like, it's the hardest thing, especially being a designer. I mean, I guess he's revealed. I really like the melon fox. It's hard to pick an absolute favorite because like I like all of them so far. We've got the melon fox, the weird upright gorilla catfish shark amalgamation. The catfish with the solar panels on its back is like peak performance.
I also really, really love the gorilla cat shark. They're very charismatic. Almost as charismatic as the torch gecko, but a little smarter.
There's one that's not revealed yet that I think is possibly our sound designer's favorite that I posted in one of our sound chats.
Oh my god.
Hopefully that will be in the poll.
I believe part of your recruitment lost was you really like the Roomba.
I did like the Roomba back when I first was recruited. As far as now, for ones, having spent so much time drawing it, I have a large affinity for the little airborne volcanic ash soot creature. That one's pretty fun. But honestly, it was the one that doesn't show up until the end of the trailer, mainly because of mechanical reasons. Is the sort of cat toy guy is really fun because it's something I really wanted as a rare spawn, because I love rare spawns in games. Things that you can find, rare items if you see it. When you see like the slime, the melting slime in Dragon Quest games, when you see like a loot goblin, when you see anytime you see that one rare thing in a biome, you're like, I have to go and chase it right now. So this thing was patterned off of that. It is a little cat toy that chases its own bell on the top of the toy. It's just one of my favorite conceptual designs. Just because it also interacts with how the player interfaces with it too.
By the way, people watching, wind is a real thing. I'm fighting the wind right now. If I jump right now, it's gonna push me. I'm not pressing anything right now. It is just pushing me. If I don't dive into the wind, sandstorms are not nice. They're pretty, but they're not nice.
The way it makes it look like you're running, though, is funny.
Right?
We should probably have like a resisting,
Yeah.
like dragging foot animation.
Yep. What about you, Jen?
Of the ones that've been revealed, I really like. Okay, I don't remember what it's called. The big Stegosaurus, Ankylosaurus thing with the prisms on its back that was in the bog, kind of all marching, and the one that was kind of drowning in the bog.
Yeah.
That big guy. I love that guy.
The catfish, crystal.
Yes, catfish.
Yeah. It's been 3 people's favorite so far. To be fair, I do like it. I really enjoy animating.
I mean, I do also. I like the anglerfish.
Oh, the anglerfish
that we've made.
Oh yeah,
that one.
That
was a collaborative effort between me and Jen.
I think I remember we were talking on a call, and I don't know why. I think I was playing a lot of Dredge at the time, but anglerfish, like that anglerfish that you find in the first area that's like part of a boat, was just sticking in my head so much.
The sandstorm looks so cool. I love the multi. I'm glad you implemented it, and the way you did it is so cool.
It's just so hard to move against, but that's the point. You're supposed to find shelter. I'm trying to get shelter, but I'm in the part that's glitched because it's not changing the LODs. You're never supposed to be able to see the blocks this blocky.
Oh wow, that's really funny. How'd you arrive here? You got into the...
I just kept going. I let the wind
Oh, the way it's getting worse too!
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna get to max LOD here. LOD 5, I believe. Oh yeah, things are breaking. That's cool.
It makes it look like you're so tiny, because
it looks like I'm in the music video from He-Man in that meme.
I think you're oh my god, do I try?
Oh, yep, there goes the map. It's all gone. Okay, back to normal weather.
Now it looks like you're in the clouds though, which is cool. Oh, no, less so.
That's just because it's gone. There are crystals right here. They're just invisible. Let's see. Anything else from Twitch? Is there a let's see. Yeah, what's everyone working on right now?
Mainly it's the player own way system. I've been ironing out elemental interactions based on play styles. That's the main thing I've been working on for that. Based on like the various characterizations of the various types. I was gonna say characteristics and characterizations, and it did not complete a full word at all.
Nah, you nailed it.
Imagine I just said nothing.
This live stream.
We're working on nothing.
I'm just like, no, it's I'm just sleeping. Mostly, I guess between more sprite work, yippee, and putting together a cohesive format for basically what will become like key art for pretty much other artist use. So having like model sheets basically for anyone that needs them.
Yeah.
On my end, right now we're setting up a lot of the technical audio stuff. So right now setting up like the wise file we're using for a lot of this, and then going to do some environmental and movement based things for this area. So things like the movements you're seeing here, as well as like the sand and the wind and all that. So it's going to be, but I think the technical thing is going to be the bulk of it for right now.
I'm working on making sure all those things can happen. And also the ray traced audio this week. Hello, Cerulean Dusk. Just joined
Ooh,
chat.
sorry.
I'm curious, how does the sandstorm look during the eclipse? Does it go based
Let
off lightning
me
at all?
start an eclipse. Sun, where are
Just
you at?
casually.
Okay, you're there. Okay. Okay, now we're in a full eclipse. And I'm glowing way too much. Again, I'm gonna fix it. I promise.
No, sandstorm. Curious.
It looks very purple.
Yeah!
Ooh.
But it's got a little bit of subtle variation of
Oh
colors
yeah,
because
it's
of
like
all the colors. I think
magenta
that's cool.
to
Yeah. What about a partial eclipse? I want to see how the color changes a little bit in those sandstorms. I think
ignore
it's
the
cool.
character flying away.
It's fine.
Still pretty pink.
I think it's really cool though. I think it's a fun
Mhm.
little hazy purple.
Now the eclipse is gone. Or mostly.
That's so cool.
That's
Also, I love how
okay.
the looks of that.
Cerulean Dusk, ask whatever your heart desires. You can never be. Well, you can definitely be too late, but you're not too late. We're
Since
still
you're
here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm also gonna restart the game again because it broke it again. Oh, I'm getting a lot of errors. Okay.
It'll get fixed.
I'm glad that OBS like automatically regrabs it. That is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What is something that you're most excited about? That isn't too much of a spoiler that we've talked about. Maybe a feature that we mentioned. I don't know if any of you guys watched the stuff that I've ever revealed, but
I did.
just like core mechanics or like elements that touch your areas or don't. I don't know.
I'm specifically excited about us fleshing out the movement animations so that we can really fine tune and tweak those so we can get it feeling good. That's my biggest thing I'm looking forward to. Just we can have movement crisp and because that's something in a lot of creature collector games. It's you don't have movement is never the main thing that is focused on a lot. Even in other RPGs as well, you'll have pretty standard up and down. But like sometimes they'll dive into it a little bit. Like Xenoblade Chronicles X, you have the vehicles and the way that kind of changes how movement in an environment sort of changes. So I'm particularly excited for that because that's something in the near future that we can look forward to.
Xenoblade X, my beloved.
Mm-hmm.
Because my my like world scope is not very big. I'm just kind of like looking forward to just playing the game. Like it sounds very like short-sighted and like weird and almost pessimistic. Like I'm excited for it to be done in a sense that like I
That's
can
fair.
do something with it. Like I'm excited to actually like exist
In the
within the
world,
world
yeah.
Oh, just in general.
with the little
Just
little
exist.
fellow. Yes. Yes, absolutely. But I'm excited to, you know, exist with the little fellows and not so little fellows.
Yeah. What about you, Jen?
Definitely agree with Kami. Also, just like being able to exist within the game and being in this world we're creating is very exciting. From a design standpoint, I love just the sheer amount of types and diversity of Elemera that we have, and I'm excited to design for those. And just it's both going to be a challenge, but also I think it'll be very rewarding and fulfilling, and I hope it is for the players as well.
Hmm. Another
I
question from Calaveso.
Ooh, what we got?
Any other genres of games aside from RPGs and Minecraft likes that inspired gameplay elements?
Uh simulation games. I don't know. What genre is Animal Crossing?
It's a life
Lifestyle.
sim.
Life
Yeah.
sim. Yeah, definitely life sims. Definitely simulation games. Uh Cozy Slop. I don't know.
Friend slop,
Friend
Friend
Slop,
cozy
slap.
Cozy
slop.
Slop. Uh
I know when
Specifically,
Definitely.
we just talked about Mario as well as one of them for
yeah.
those that weren't here earlier.
Mario,
I
Breath of the
I know
Wild.
it's not like gameplay element, but I mean, as far as designs go, like obviously yes, like Pokemon, but like for me, a lot of the genres that inspire the way that I do things with designs is uh like I'm a big Shin Megami Tensei fan, and if you know anything about it, it's all like real world mythology stuff, so I really like diving into that sort of thing. But also just mixing it with stuff that's like a little funny to
Yeah.
make funny little guys.
Yeah.
I think it's
Megaton
also
also mentioned, yeah.
important to look at all sorts of games. I try to where I can kind of take notes as I'm playing various different genres to see, well, how could this be incorporated? Because I find this element very fun. Is there anything I can kind of pull as a concept from this? And like, how could we enter this into Elemera in a way that makes sense, in a way that can
Mhm.
be digestible to it, which is really where the play your own way system kind of came about, was my love of a bunch of different things. But like, for example, in a creature collector, you may want to be an archetype that isn't just the battler, for example, because you love all these different other games and you wish, oh man, I wish I could live with my little guys in this particular way, and there's not a lot of support for that. So being able to support players by kind of broadening your scope of the types of games that exist, but without broadening the scope so it's like a scope creep situation, but like enough where you can like mechanically tweak things to like lean into those fantasies just a little bit.
And one game I kind of think about in terms of like elements of the world that you can interact with that maybe aren't like jumping out at you or aren't completely obvious. There's hidden things to figure out and secrets in the world. It made me think of Tunic a lot. Not
Yeah.
necessarily in gameplay, but in like mechanics of this like very intricate world that's not what it immediately seems like on the surface.
Oh, one big inspiration of something that I wanted to have like uh little things in the world I want to be able to have the player perceive was actually Metroid Prime. Some of the way you're able
Yeah, yeah.
to explore lore by like looking at and scanning something. That's something that I'm like, that's really cool. What if you could do that in the creature collector? Wait a minute, hold on. So there's definitely inspirations from things that are not just RPGs and Minecraft like games.
I guess yeah, in that way puzzles, mystery games.
I'm a big RimWorld kind of guy, so
Ooh,
like
RimWorld. That's a good one.
that kind of stuff always entices me, which is another reason why I think I'm like excited to actually just like get the game in hand, because it's like if I can play something that's like even slightly similar to my favorite slash most hated game, hell yeah. I hate RimWorld so much. That's why I've got over 1,000 hours in it.
I played a lot of Dwarf Fortress and then I was like, I want this but my game, but also kind
Nothing
of
wrong with
all
that.
those other things. I don't know. I really want to make a game that people are excited to tell stories about. Like, I can't believe this happened in the game, or I learned this thing. Um, a lot of like
Mm-hmm.
aha
Mm-hmm.
moments are like my favorite thing to inspire in players.
Absolutely. So real. So real.
Look forward to testing out. Look forward to seeing Earth elements. Earth elementals. Oh yeah. We've revealed a couple of them, right? Like, I think the catfish is Earth type.
The little soot guy is a earth and air
Right.
Elemera.
And then who else? That we've revealed. Ooh, it's actually windy outside right now. So if you hear anything, that might be on my end. Who have we revealed? That's the tough part.
Is the sand shark?
Oh, the
also...
sand shark is
most of the things in the trailer were earth type. Come to
there
think
were
of
a
it.
couple of fire, some crystal.
Oh yeah, it's not like there weren't any other ones. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
was
it was pretty well represented. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, we were in a biome that was very earth.
That is
centric,
this.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we have had plenty of feedback on the team that it's important not just for designing, like balancing types of design, so cute versus cool versus weird, but also for representing different types because one, it's important for the world to feel rich and full and um, meaningfully diverse, but also because some people have certain aesthetics that they like design wise, and we don't want them to be feeling left out.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Absolutely.
Let's see. Any other? Okay. Yeah, we covered that one. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, let's stick with that one. What's your favorite type, or like a type that you would be most excited to explore design wise?
Oh, that's an interesting question because there's so many cool design spaces in every single type. So how could you? That's like asking about a favorite color. But
Okay, what's your favorite color?
Ah!
Artist.
No, pass. No, I think the magic type seems interesting. I like to imagine that there could be some fantasy elements that you can slip in there as well that you can attribute to the magic type. You could put a little fantasy spin on it. So that's because I love the fantasy aesthetic. So that's something that I might be excited about because I've done a couple designs that might be like magic type. I'm looking forward to potentially exploring that a bit more. But there's definitely so many. I could get excited about every single type and explain why, but we'll not have another hour to this conversation.
What about you, Kami?
For sorry, for me, like the ones that kind of catch my attention the most tend to be like, what is it like? There's a corrupt one where
Yeah.
it's like just weird. Um, it kind of falls back into the like cutie patootie versus scary Larrys, like especially as I guess someone that like designs things. I'm really interested in kind of fleshing out concepts that like you couldn't see in Pokemon and other things like that. Like more like even in line with more kind of like how Digimon does stuff where it's more, I don't know, it's more free to be itself and it's not tied to being like children's concept. Like obviously it's not like, ooh, creature with realistic blood like comes out of the screen and gets you. But like I like the concept of like just weird, and I think the chaos or
Corrupt.
sorry, yeah.
You're good.
The corrupt type kind of like holds that within it and is a fun way to explore it. I mean really like Yeah, there's plenty of types that I'm interested in, but definitely like the corrupt, um, untyped is a type,
Yeah.
and it's like, what is that? And that's what interests me about it as well. uh, but like as far as designing and I guess also interacting would go, it would be definitely like the sound type, the corrupt type, the digital type, and then untyped fellas. But
Yeah.
really it's hard to pick just one.
What about you, Jen?
Um, well, I'm definitely excited for the sound type. And
Typecast.
and and then it's like kind of a more of a broad scope because I'm let's see anything that's kind of has more of like an ethereal vibe. I don't know if corrupt would fall under that, but maybe not as like I don't know. Anything
We
that
have
kind of sound is a little
We have Spirit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
spirit,
I
divine.
like the,
I'm
yeah I
excited
like
about that one too. I love, yeah.
Big yokai fan. They're lost.
A little
Mhm.
bit!
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yokai Watch underrepresented in the monster genre. I'm just saying.
yeah anything I can like do a bunch of cool just kind of with Kami anything that's kind of a little more weird. I'm here for it.
I'm really excited for, I don't know on the design side if I have a preference, but mechanically, I'm really excited about shadow and sound because I have a lot of fun ideas on how to make them interact with the environment. So, like, all shadow types can move through shadows, and getting that working has been a really fun challenge. And something I've
Mhm.
never seen a game do before, like effectively or really at all. But it's something that happens in animation all the time.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Yeah, this
making
is gonna
that
be fun.
mechanically work out is a fun challenge that I've been looking at. I also like the idea of sound as a mechanic that's not just like a cutscene. Like if a large explosion happens, it will shake the building and maybe it'll collapse, or at least the glass will shatter, or it'll trigger an avalanche. That really excites me as a player because
Oh,
I
that would be really fun if it also is you because we have the ray traced audio. If we do it from the in-game player characters, if you're not careful on like a snowy mountain, if you're starting yelling at your friends, then the avalanche happens. That
we
would be really
could.
cool.
It
Whoops.
wouldn't be that hard
Killed
We
to
all my
do
should.
it.
friends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like you can turn up effectively like it wouldn't actually cause people's ears to hurt, but like how far it
Yeah.
travels. Yeah, we could do that. I think that'd be an ability though, right? I feel like that's something you'd have to invest into
Well,
to be that
I was just
loud.
saying specifically if it's something like in a very precarious area where it's like supposed to be like silent because it's like
Yeah,
cryo and something like that where
crystal or something.
specifically
Yeah.
I don't mean for like blowing a building down. I just mean specifically for like the precarious like if
Oh,
any sounds might trigger an avalanche in a specific like area.
that works.
If you have the audio of like talking to your friends, you're just like, oh yeah, and suddenly, did you hear that? Rumble, 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 and then it just cascades from there. I think that'd be a fun, exactly what you said before, having stories that kind of come out just from the gameplay itself. We also had
That
another question from Cerulean Dusk over on YouTube asking about that structure that was at the end of the trailer that was being constructed, the one with the torch gecko. They're
yeah,
asking what it was about and what
it's a
that.
sleeping torch gecko. The players just like that character, so they're making a effigy of them.
I think I just
Um,
wanted to know a little bit more about the torch gecko. It sounded like.
uh, that has consistently been our go-to silly guy. Um, Briefly eclipsed by the catfish, but the torch gecko's head empty. Um, no thought, yeah, no thoughts, head empty. They were the first ones that we really designed structures around. So basically, they build these kiln-like uh, clay or sandstone structures that are like domes where they burn stuff in the middle. They paint little goofy pictures on stuff with ashes. They're very social. They're just fun little guys, and they use their tails as torches.
And ask the players in the trailer to burn down their neighbor's house.
Yeah, and it made them very happy. They are
They sure did.
pyromaniacs. They do not consider the implications of burning things. Any plans for spaces where sound can't travel? Yep. There will be places that suppress individual elements in ways that like are mechanically challenging for sure. I know there is a secret that we've already designed that might involve something along those lines, but me telling that will help you very little in discovering it. But yes. Anything from Twitch? Let me see. Oh, Kami's got to leave for a sec. Let's see. I don't know. Anything that you guys wanted to cover while we're here? Foster, Jen?
That's a good question. I think beyond that, 'cause I've been mainly talking from the perspective of a character, a creature designer, and a game designer. I haven't really been speaking too much as animation director for the. Well, I have of course a couple things that we talk about animation, but like as far as 2D animation, I do think that we do want to in the future have more of that. I think we're not going to commit to anything in particular, but the team had a lot of fun. I just wanted to say that the team is excited about possibilities for more potential animated projects. No, we're not going to commit to anything on that just because it's a lot. There's a lot of moving parts with regards to that, but it's something that we're at least looking into as just because we have established the foundations through a lot of trial and error throughout the course of making the trailer. So it could be fun making more cool content like that for the world space of Elemera. I think that's a thing I wanted to kind of talk about just because we had some conversation about it. It was kind of a separate, I would say not division, but we have people brought on that were in relation to that team, and I think they did an amazing job, and I really wanted to highlight them, and at least in a little way that we've put a lot of work into making a workflow that can make that sort of thing possible.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the team of basically 4 people that did all the animation between storyboard, background.
I think it's 5 because we had the 2.
Oh, you're right.
2 background
yeah,
artists,
2 background, yep.
Storyboard artist, and we had, of course, myself, principal animator, and our cleanup animator.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of work.
It was also a very tight timeline.
Yeah, we've learned from that to manage expectations on what is possible.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
in all aspects of the game.
in everything, yeah.
Full disclosure, we were
Yes.
working on a demo for a while, and then we transitioned to working on the Kickstarter, and that changed focus a lot and did put us under a lot of time pressure.
Yeah.
The trailer is basically everything that we could get to meet those standards. If we had more time, it would be a lot more polished for sure.
Yeah.
We were just hoping to get funding to pay everyone to do this full time.
That's the main thing. It's just that it's hard to, because I ostensibly work 3 or more jobs at this point, and it's hard to commit as much time as I would love to this project because I'm very passionate about it, but it's a situation where it's hard to focus on it because of that. So that's one of the reasons we needed to push for the Kickstarter when we did.
Yeah. We will, even if the Kickstarter doesn't get the goal, we'll still make this. It's just going to take time and we'll have less control over everyone's availability is the main thing. The Kickstarter would have allowed us to, or could, I mean, it can turn around, but would allow us to have people basically quit their day jobs and just do this full time. Um, so that's kind of why we pushed for it when we did, because we weren't gonna be able to sustain the momentum we needed for the Kickstarter going forward indefinitely. But we're still making a lot of progress right now.
Even the past like week, you've been adding a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. We're getting all the animations done for the player movement. That's in progress right now, so they won't just be doing these stiff jumps. It'll look just as fluid as all our other stuff. Jen's got quite a load of audio things to add. Oh, and we haven't been able to show off your really cool creature cries yet. That's gonna be nice.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for those. Definitely need to polish some of those. How long was it ago that I sent those? I
A
think it was
while ago.
Quite a
I
while.
love the torch
Yeah.
gecko.
Yeah, they're really good though.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm
I
excited.
appreciate that.
I'm excited to be at beck and call whenever I'm needed to be called upon as well. I'm happy to help, as I've said.
Oh yes,
before.
definitely. Get the voice acting credit.
I love. Yeah, well, also just because it's super fun. I love little weird creature sounds. It's gonna be so
Oh
fun.
yeah, I'm excited.
We're gonna
I'm
have a
excited to have you in one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone here from my stream will know exactly what that's about. We have a few people. We have like 3 or so people here for my streams. I don't shut up about doing voices, so. But yeah, do we want to start doing a wrap up last couple questions? How many questions do you have left on your docket there, Ava? Or should we start looking to wrap up? Because we've been going for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, I think we can start wrapping up here. I got through the main ones that I saw that were brought up. Yeah, I did I guess with the exception of like there were a couple of questions on YouTube about this I addressed at the beginning of the stream, but this is a custom engine. We just kind of built it from scratch. There's a framework we're using. The difference between a framework and an engine is a framework gives you certain tools, in this case for like interacting with your computer, so we don't have to figure out how to like talk to your hard drive or talk to your GPU to like work on different types of computers. But for the most part, we built a lot of this from scratch. And it took a long time, but now we can just add stuff pretty darn quickly, which is nice because we have so much control. That's the last one I had on my list here. But yeah, again, we've got 2 other streamers here. I guess if anyone wants to say where to find them outside of Elemera.
We have one last person who just came in.
We got a question.
Do you have a question? Are you free?
No, not
Are you a
really.
game developer?
Yeah.
She's like, are you real?
I mean,
No,
I'm laid off
I'm a
from my
joke.
last game dev job. I'm pretty sure if you develop a
the
game, you're a
economy.
game dev. That's kind of like the main thing in game dev spaces, from my experience. Y'all been developing this game.
On that fun note. Yes, where can we find you guys? Kami, what is your situation? What's your social situation? Socials, not social.
You want me to dig out that card? Give you my social, those funny digits on the back of my credit card?
Yeah.
I don't really like actively use a whole lot of social media. Like I use Twitter to kind of like doom scroll, and that's honestly about it. I don't have a output of art often enough to like actually like post a bunch. You can find me under this name pretty much anywhere you look. I guess for full transparency, content warning, be careful what you look for.
But you flag stuff on all your stuff.
As well as I can. But yeah, I'm on Twitter. It's a whole battle. I cannot post under just Queen Kami, so I have to be the Queen Kami. I've been like pining for just the Queen Kami like at it's been a fight.
Lost?
Yes, I am the Lost Arts in most places. Lost Arts, all one word. You can find me at Fairplay Studios on on Twitter. That's an old name. Back when I had aspirations of game development when I was in high school, I had with a friend we started Fairplay Studios, and then promptly that didn't happen. Which is really funny because there's an actual now since then a Fairplay Studios that gets confused for me on Twitter, which is amusing. But you can find me there on that. Otherwise, it's usually the Lost Arts here on Twitch, as well as on YouTube as well, Lost Arts One, or just at the Lost Arts. There, I am a streamer, animator, like doing voices over on Twitch. I mainly am active here on Twitch. We also have a Discord as well, for what that's worth. So if you want to follow Twitch, I will occasionally talk about game-related things, and I do sometimes do some artwork for game dev on stream as well on a rare occasion. So feel free to follow over there if you want to. Also, you should probably shout out both Kami because Kami is live.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
both technically on the thing, but might as well do / shout out to Kami as well as myself.
True.
But yeah, that is true as well. So what about lastly, we have our sound designer Jen.
Actually, before I go, do we have time for one more question? The one just popped up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Any plans to have this game available in other languages that are not English?
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. If you look at the Kickstarter, we have a pretty extensive list of languages we want to cover. Let me pull it up. I've got a lot of friends in a lot of places. This team has a lot of people in a lot of places. So yeah, it's important that people can play this in their native language if possible. Let me scroll down to the bottom. We plan on supporting English, French, Italian, German, Spanish from Spain, Latin American Spanish, simplified Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, Russian, Polish, and Arabic. If you don't see your preferred language there, leave us a comment and we'll see what we can do. Yeah. You can also follow me if you want to see cat pictures and gingerbread contests at Nick McKay Dev. I don't really post a lot of game dev stuff there.
It's worth watching. I swear, it's worth following him.
Yes, very much.
Oh, that's true. Jen also
see the
helps
Squidward cosplay.
True. Yeah, I think. Wait, Jen, did you give your social?
I'm a real. I don't post anything ever.
Fine. Don't follow Jen.
Keep your secrets.
All right, then keep your secrets.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Thanks everyone who joined in. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad that we were able to get everybody on the call here.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to just get together and yap a little bit.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity.
I don't know how often we'll be able to commit to this. We'll keep y'all posted. We also just can't burn through all of the information about the game because we'll outpace development. But this won't be the last time we'll do dev Q&A or even like live stream for gameplay that we're talking over. So stay tuned. All of our socials are on elemera.com. I just made this Twitter account or this Twitch account today, so it's not up to date. That's the easiest place to find everything is elemera.com.
We've been having to walk him through everything. Like, come on, Grandpa, let's get you set up.
Look.
It was an interesting setup process for the stream. Yeah.
Especially when you've got me and Lost both like knowing how to do Twitch streams. He's like, huh?
Hey, you know what? We got it. We got it done.
Yeah,
it worked out.
Yeah,
it worked.
That's what
mostly
matters.
worked. It only failed once at the beginning, but you know, People are
Oh,
here.
wow.
People are
glad we
talking.
I'm glad we made sure we got the little foogies. I think it helps. It's very, very charming, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks
Although it
everyone.
is funny though. It's like we have two humanoids with their their little friend, little guys.
Right?
We're being flanked right now. It's great.
Just hanging out with like these little freaks.
Mm-hmm.
You're dead. You're gone. It's. Oh wait, that means we can't talk.
Yeah.
What?
Never mind.
that's-
Okay, I
You're-
forgot that means we can't talk.
Okay.
What'd you do?
Silenced us.
I switched to the like splash screen.
Oh, well, you're still you're
I know it's
still
still streaming. I was just gonna say goodbye,
You're
You still-
everyone.
don't
Yeah.
say anything weird. You're still audible on my stream.
Yeah, I know it's still going. Okay, bye everyone.